Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Hope everyone is well and had a blessed weekend. Obviously, it's a bit cold outside, especially if you're in the UK. But big up everyone as always. What are you saying, Jeff?
Yeah, all good, my guy. All good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. Can't complain. Can't complain, man. It's all good. All good. Obviously, Jalil can't join us today, and Rash will be joining us in about 20 minutes' time. As we chop it up. Obviously, first thing first, always make sure to smash the likes when you join the videos, subscribe to RBT, and yeah, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, etc. We're on those platforms too. But yeah, man, let's get straight into it. World Cup quarterfinals weekend. Well, Friday and Saturday at least. And yeah, there was plenty of drama for sure across the weekend. We're probably going to start with the England game. Saturday night, France England, huge game, felt like a huge game, a statement game for England. Unfortunately, they came up a little bit short. Tchouameni gave France the lead with a great strike. To be honest, a bit controversial because Saka did look like he was fouled in the build-up by Upamecano, who had a hell of a game for France.
Something like that.
He had a hell of a game for France. And then Kane equalized on the spot, started the second half. And then Giroud puts France back in front. And then obviously Kane then goes on to miss the penalty, skies it over the bar. Usually he's so reliable from the spot. But well, we all know that thing about pressure. And then like you can hit everybody. Nobody is immune to it. So yeah, man. Big up Rash already in the comments saying, yo, my guys, Rash is going to be on shortly, so big up Rash and smash the like. So yeah, Jeff, man, England losing. There's two sides to it. Obviously, Southgate is now considering his future.
Mm-hmm.
Two sides to the thing. Southgate, a lot of people will say, look at everything he's done for England, getting into a semi, a final, a quarterfinal. And then there's others that will say England are still yet to actually ever beat anybody good.
Yeah.
So, which side are you on more? And should remain in charge?
I'm on the latter. Even the semi-final run, like you did what you were supposed to do. Of course, you can only beat what's in front of you, but the reality is you didn't beat anyone of any real stature. And then the Euros, you say they beat Germany, which is a good scalp. But yeah, apart from that, it was pretty plain sailing, I'd say, for the most part. And then Southgate, should he stay? To me, no. I've never liked Southgate as a manager. I just think you try to play your best players. That's what you would do. Like any other nation, you have your best players, you play them. You don't. And then he's kind of set himself up from the start because he said he's sticking to this system of based on form, etc., etc. And then you start Mount in the World Cup, who's been off form, and then Henderson comes in when he hasn't had the best of years, like the last 12 months or whatever. So from the start, because if you weren't planning to stick with it and you were going to have your favorites, then you shouldn't have led with that opening statement because the public went with you and kind of believed you. So I know it's like to a degree he got the job because he also has like a good relationship with like the young boys and whatnot. But yeah, you just set yourself up from the start. Like you can, but then to play devil's advocate at the same time, you could say that he's done what no one has really done in the modern era with England. Like got them further than what they normally do. But the reality is, it just means nothing. That's just what, like, getting to a quarterfinal and playing well against France and losing, you lost. So France can say that, even having this discussion, like Pogba and Kante aren't at their best, but for France as a duo, they are great. So they're missing them, they're missing Benzema, they're missing Kimpembe, even though I don't like him at all.
He's better than Upamecano, though.
Yeah, Upamecano. Say this, like he had that, like it was probably 2 years ago or so when he was like highly regarded.
Yes, he was what name?
Yeah, when I saw him against Man United and they lost 5-0, that's
Yes,
when
yes.
I realized, oh yeah, you guys have been selling us wolf tickets. This guy's not that good.
Yeah, that's the game I completely. To be fair, that's the first time I saw him properly, and after that, I said no, I don't want him. I don't want him anywhere near my team.
Nah, he's you saw
terrible.
what he was doing, man. Like one time Kane span him like he just gave him the old school number 9 role.
Yeah, the little
And he's just making rash challenges. Like I think the commentator, I think it was Lee Dixon, he's just saying that, bro, you don't always have to win the ball. And
yeah.
it just wasn't making sense. Like you're trying to make crazy tackles, man. But I'm sure we'll get back to France anyway. But yeah, with England, I was gonna say this, like, we're probably gonna get to the game anyway. Like they gave a good account of themselves overall. Like the game was one of those with like fine margins. So like obviously France's opener was a great goal. Like Pickford, I can't say I'm one of Pickford's least biggest fans. I do not like Pickford, especially not as an international goalkeeper, number 1. It just doesn't make sense to me. But credit where credit's due, he played well throughout this game, and he's not to blame for that Tchouaméni strike.
No, I don't think he is.
If anything, it might sound a little bit harsh. I might blame Bellingham a little bit.
Oh, for not getting out quick enough.
Yeah, because you got out there, but you didn't get out there with any real vim. Like you just got out there. So that's kind of the thing with like players. Like they're not really willing to take the block and get hit. Like you turn your back or you half go into something, and then it kind of defeats the purpose of going out there. Like to me, it's like very small margins again. But to me, if you go and like block something, you go and block something. You take it in the face, you chin, chest, wherever. Yeah, wherever the football hits you is where it hits you. But when you kind of go out there and then you're obscuring your goalie's view because he can't really see, like, make it worthwhile if you're gonna go out there. Because now, like, Pickford isn't exactly the tallest of goalie. He hasn't got reach like that. So that far strike, not seeing it for a split second, cost the goal.
Yeah, no, that's the difference.
Yeah, it was a good strike. Like England, yeah, that they kind of responded okay to it. I'd say a few players were missing. Maybe the biggest one was Foden. He was kind of missing for a large portion of that game. Probably should have come off earlier. Just because, like, for what Foden normally does, like he'll go looking for the ball. Like even at City, like you'll get the ball a lot of the time, but if it's not going too well, you might drop deep, you might tuck inside a little bit, you might switch over, take some initiative in the game and go and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. He didn't do that. He's quiet.
No, he didn't. I think both Pep and Southgate, whoever is the next England manager, if he does decide to move on, they've got to stop this playing Foden on the left. He doesn't work on the left. He's got to either play on the right or play in behind. Like he cannot play the left because he's not quick. He's not able to take his man on the outside. He can't really float properly if he's going in from the left. So I think you either keep him on the right where he can cut in, and naturally it's easier for weak foot players. For players on their strong foot to get more involved in the weaker side of the pitch, the opposite side, or try him in the number 10. I know maybe you feel like defensively you'll be exposed, but that's what we need to see with Phil Foden, what type of number 10 he is. Will he be a Griezmann type of number 10 where he just floats everywhere, keeps things ticking, or will Foden be more of a number 10 that gets the ball in the half turn, drives, is more direct, shoots from the edge of the box? He might be more of that type of number 10, but still, he seems it, but still, we need to try him there because on the left, it just doesn't work. It gets away with him more at Man City because Man City are so good. Yeah, and it's more about your individual talent. So
it's kind of stifling him playing him from there. Like, I think you're probably better off. Like, in a perfect world, if you didn't have Southgate as a manager, Bellingham plays where Henderson plays, you can maybe accommodate Foden.
Fully, because I just don't see the purpose of having Henderson and Bellingham playing together.
No, like even we saw like in that game, Henderson a bunch of times ended up wide right, like, especially in the first half. Like,
But
just
it's
looking at
that Liverpool thing again.
yeah, I'm just looking at it like, all right, bro, like this makes sense if you're wide right and maybe you've got Trent tucking inside a little bit because it's Trent. Trent can cross the ball amazingly. Like we know what he does. Like he's creative. But you're playing for England, like you kind of just leaving Saka alone a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Saka in the end had like a lot of the time, like he wasn't maybe at his complete best, but he's still England's most dangerous player by far. Just by because he wants to trouble someone. He's willing to travel with the ball, just do something a little bit unorthodox. When you're playing Henderson, it's like, all right, man, how safe are you trying to be? Like Bellingham is the athlete enough. He can do pretty much whatever he wants. Like he's that athletically like gifted. He can do what he wants. So I know Henderson, like he sets the tone and whatnot, like those little crowd things where you just go run to the keeper for no reason. It looks good.
Oh my
Everyone
God,
cheers.
He did it like 3 times, bro, and I'm just like, bro, you are nowhere near the ball. Save your energy, man.
Yeah, bro, you're sprinting past Kane. Like we know that's not what you've been asked to do. You just want, yeah, come on, boys. Oh, come on, man. Like
just it's yeah. I mean, big up Henderson. Like he's maxed out his career, but like you shouldn't be playing in this kind of game.
No, there's no way. Like against Tchouaméni and yeah, you shouldn't. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be in there.
Yeah, and it's not like that. That's like Tchouaméni and Rabiot is even like a Pogba and Kante when they're playing like together well as they do for France. Even as Damon is saying here, big up Durban in the building, saying France missing Pogba, Kante, and the current Ballon d'Or winner can't be any excuses. 100%, there can't be any excuse. Big up Dermo, man. Hope you're good as well, my bro. But yeah, like there can't be any excuses. And I know obviously the ref wasn't great, but you still got 2 pens. You should have had a one, no doubt about it. Nobody's debating that. You should have had the third one.
Yeah,
but you still got 2 pens.
Yeah, definitely had 2 pens. Now we'll wait till we talk about that pen. That pen was hilarious, by the way.
What, Kane's penalty miss?
Yeah. Oh my God, I was in tears. Like,
yeah, I mean,
laughing.
It's mad because like I was just thinking the tackle was so stupid from Theo Hernandez. But France throughout the whole game just played so dumb. Like they were so rash, making fouls left and right. I do think it started from Upamecano and how erratic he was. Like he was a loose cannon.
He unset. Like if I was playing next to him, he would unsettle me.
Oh yeah, fully. Upamecano is the type of guy that will have you shaking, and that's why Varane I think needs to be given credit for how well he played because he played that well next to that clown because he was. Let's face it, Jeff. He was a clown on Saturday.
Oh my God! Like he's one of those guys who like listen. Like after they got the penalty and missed, I said they might get another one.
They might, legit.
Because this guy, I don't think he understands. Like, I don't think there's something he doesn't quite get. Like, because he's just stupid. Like, and Theo Hernandez as well. Like, what are you thinking? Like,
what are you thinking?
It's an innocuous ball going through to the keeper. His mountain has got to grow 6 inches. Pause. Get his leg on the ball and then like lob the keeper or something. Like, all you gotta do is just usher it out. You come charging in and barge him over. Why?
Mad. It just made no sense whatsoever, man. And like Demo says here, don't know how Upamecano starts over Kanate and Saliba. Neither do we.
Criminal.
It's criminal. Now, because it's so late in the tournament, Deschamps not going to change. He's going to keep Upamecano through. They might win a World Cup with that. Fair enough. I mean, they're 2 games away from winning a World Cup with Upamecano. So, but it's like, you know, when Man City won the Premier League with Otamendi at the back with company, like, anomalies like this can happen. You can just happen to win every once in a while with a horrible defender. Because Otamendi's, to be fair, Otamendi's better than Upamecano, to be fair.
Yeah, I can't listen. Upamecano is average at best.
At best.
He's
his
a
decision
mess.
making is so rash. Like it really could bring him down even more than that, Jeff. I can't even lie, bro.
I can give him average.
Maybe we can give him average. Maybe we can give him average. I'd like to see him in a few more games, like again when he's tested, because obviously so far during the tournament, France ain't been tested like that. But I kind of feel like England must have seen some of his highlights at Bayern and Leipzig and said, "Yeah, like we got to target this side because this guy's a one-man wrecking crew."
Literally, he's doing some comical stuff out there, man. Like, I thought Maguire was going to be the laughing stock on that pitch, just because he normally is. But Maguire played all right. I'm going to say Maguire's had an okay tournament. Why he started, I don't know. But yeah, like in him playing in this tournament, he's been solid.
He has. Obviously, I think he's been solid. I agree with you, and I do think John Stones has been better.
Yeah, 100%.
I do really like John Stones now as a player. I gotta admit, he is a good defender. He's a good defender. So I gotta give John credit. But yeah, I mean, obviously Harry Kane's penalty miss. You know, people will say he's a choker when it matters most. Obviously, he's never scored in a final or something. As that record that's out there. People say what significant moment has Harry Kane ever truly come through? And people say that even that penalty that he scored against Denmark in the Euro semi-final, he missed it. He scored a tap-in. He scored the follow-up. He even missed the penalty itself. It's harsh to give Kane. And obviously, I saw someone today say that Giroud's had a better career than Harry Kane. And it's just funny now how quickly narratives can change. Because as long as Harry Kane does not win a trophy, now he's got this penalty miss on his resume
forever.
He's gonna end up getting put in conversations that he probably should not be in.
Yeah, like you know what? Like Kane's one of these players. Like he seems to just divide opinion. Like
he does
all the time. Like last season, we were having this discussion. Like, is he finished? Like,
yeah,
he can't be. Like
that's mad. That was mad.
He is like finished. Like the guy just come off 23 goals. Like scoring 4 goals or 5 goals. I know it's not great if you're Harry Kane, but you can't be finished. Like it's impossible. Your body don't just fail. Like I know it's happened to like maybe the Sanchez's of the world, but Kane was even playing more sparingly. So like, how do you just fail? But like he always does this. Like people think he's just like a lower team merchant kind of thing. Like he doesn't really do his job. But to me, he's still a world-class striker, regardless of what anyone says. Like,
of course.
He's probably top 5 number 9s in the business.
Yep. I would still say top 3, but
yeah. I was just top 3 definitely for me.
Yeah,
like, regardless.
I think he had a good tournament.
I think he had a good tournament. Like people again say, oh, he hasn't scored that much, but he's played an important role. Like the same way we credited Giroud in 2018 and he didn't score. He didn't have a shot on target, sorry. Then Kane has scored and has been influential in games. So you can't have it both ways. You gotta give him his credit there. Like at least.
Yeah.
Like,
Kane's a top striker. People can again, he might go as career trophy list. I hear it, like that's bad, and that will definitely play a part in your legacy. But I think Kane is a top player, and I just think like if he was playing for France, for example, when you swap him and Giroud around, France win 3 or 4-1.
Yeah, because he's clinical, man. That's one thing about him. The majority of the time, you bet on him scoring, bar the penalty. That penalty, the first penalty. All right, and this before we get to the second penalty, the first penalty was great.
Yeah, I knew he was sorting that one.
Yeah, that was a great pen. Like, I guess I thought maybe because Kane is Kane and he's playing against his teammate, you're thinking, all right, these guys are with each other all the time in training. They probably do this for fun. So you're thinking, he might miss, but convincing with that first one, that was a great pen. The second one, I think it's just that thing, like you said, man. Like you start hearing things. Like your breathing probably gets a bit erratic.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you start getting a bit anxious.
Yeah. Your legs start seizing or something. Just something weird happens. Because 82nd minute or something when he missed.
83rd, I think. 83rd minute. Sorry, 83rd, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, depend like when you stepped up, I think I even put in one of my group chat. I said, he ain't scoring.
Oh, you said it.
Yeah, you just feel it, and like he's not scoring, man.
His run up was a bit different, and I think what the issue was for Kane is that he clearly put into his head, "I'm going the same way again, but I know he's gonna go that way now.
So
So
now I
I
have
need
to
to
hit
do
with extra
top
power.
things
Mm-hmm.
to make 100% sure." And I
Yeah.
think this is a good lesson for anyone out there. If you ever take 2 pens, because I don't know if you, Jeff, have ever taken 2 pens in a game. And obviously, we are amateurs. We're not
Yeah.
so we're not professional at the highest level where there's all that scrutiny, but still, the principle can apply. I've
Mm-hmm.
had one game where I had to take 2 pens. First time, I went the same side as Harry Kane. First one scored. Second one, when I had the second one, I was shitting it because I was like, "Oh, I can't go that way again, surely, because he's
Yeah.
gonna get there." So then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to the other side." No word of a lie. I went to the other side. I hit the bar and it went in, right? But as
Yeah.
soon as it went in, I was thinking he went because the keeper went to the same side I went in first time, and I was thinking, why didn't I just go down the middle?
Yeah.
Like it's a
Yeah.
safe bet.
But
It's
then
a
you know what it is like,
bet.
because like I've taken 2 penalties in a game, but it's been
Okay, so
like
you have as well.
yeah, but it's been like I've played in like a cup game, so I scored in normal time a pen, and then I
Okay,
scored in
the shootout.
penalty. Yeah, the
Oh, that's
shootout.
even worse. That's even worse than mine. My one was both in the same game, in the
Oh
same 90
wow,
minutes.
that's wild.
Yeah, that was wild.
That's
So
crazy.
that was
That
wild.
game was nuts. But
Yeah.
yeah, you know what it is about going down the middle, like such a pressure situation. Like if you miss, you
Yes,
just
yeah.
look so stupid. Like if the keeper, imagine the keeper just doesn't move on that occasion. Like see,
It's
like
mad. It's
how
mad.
Messi like planted the keeper. Imagine like you plant the
Numbers,
keeper
yeah.
and then go in the middle or something, and he just stands there and just catches it. Now everyone just looking at you like, wait, what?
That's the problem. And I think Kane had that in his head.
Yeah,
I
because
think
like even if you blast it, like if your keeper just stands still, it's just gonna hit him, and more it's harder to go in. Like it's just gonna come
yeah,
back out. So I get it. Like he went. Like I think
yeah,
he did what you said. Like he wanted to really emphasize that he's going the same side, but I'm gonna hit it so well that you can't stop it. Because that's
yeah.
what he normally does. Like even like the Van Nistelrooy technique, like I'm going to the side you know I'm going to, but it's hit so well, there's nothing you can do
Don't
about it.
matter. Yeah. That's
But
Kane usually.
yeah, but that's the thing with those high penalties. Like when you use Ghana as an example, Jan against Uruguay, he hit the bar with his because you're trying to hit like that the stand like
Yeah.
in the corner. Like you don't need to do that because it's way more difficult. Like and then in the resulting penalty shootout, he did it and he got it where he aimed for
Yes.
the first time.
Yeah.
But
Literally. Yeah. I remember that.
yeah, it's just
I
like,
remember that yesterday.
bro, like go low.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I get why they try and go high, but when you go high, man, like there's always a risk that if you just put your foot under the ball just a little bit, that
Yeah.
is going over. That is
Remember,
going over.
remember
And
Bruno like last year against Villa?
yes, smashed over the bar. Like
Same thing.
yeah, it's exactly the same thing. Like Roberto Baggio, 1994 World Cup final. Same thing,
Blast it
smashed
over.
it over the bar. He
Yeah,
said that as he was walking up to the spot, it's like his body, he was losing control of his body. Like, so
yeah.
obviously the
I
pressure
do
thing.
get it. I do get it.
I get it. Like, we've both been in penalty shootouts. I've been in the penalty shootout once in the cup game, quarterfinal. Bro, I was shitting bricks, bro.
I've
I
missed
was
one.
shitting bricks.
I've missed one
I've
in a
missed,
pressure situation.
I've missed the pen too, and it's a horrible feeling. Like, you're
It just
just
looks
like,
stupid.
yeah, you just look dumb.
It's just like you're
I
looking at
missed
it. It's like, yeah, I'm 12 yards out. I do this all the time in training. Like, he probably doesn't miss in something like training. It's just like, bro, I can't score from 12 yards. Like even his react, like he was defeated. Like as soon as
Yeah, that was
you
his
could just
game
see it,
done.
it's just like,
That was
oh
his
my
game
god,
done. That was his
like
game done,
missed
man.
a pen. Like really?
That was his game done. Big up Shaka in the building. Hope you're good. My bro saying he needs to leave Tottenham to get a trophy to his name. He's
Yeah.
probably not wrong, man. We know Bayern Munich are looking at him for next summer.
Yeah.
I do think that would be a good move for Kane. I'm not gonna lie. I think Bayern Munich will be a nice move for him.
I got a quick question. So, what do you think about the media's reaction to it? Because you know how there's been all those chat, like even especially my group chats, like, when Saka Rashford missed one, it was a certain depiction. When Kane misses one, is there the same depiction?
Well, of course there isn't the same depiction. I think we saw that in the papers and the way the pundits reacted. Maybe less so the pundits. I think with the pundits, it's more not in terms of like, because I think when Saka and let me just add Rash, bigger Rash.
What's going on, guys? You right? Yeah.
What's happening, bro?
But yeah, no, as I was saying, I think when Saka and Rashford and Sancho missed the pens last year, it's not that the pundits didn't really kill them like that.
I'm all right. I got a little dodgy connection over here, so I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we can. You're just a little bit delayed, but I think it's probably getting better. Okay, now you're frozen.
Yeah.
Let me take him out for a sec. But yeah, I just think it's stuff like what Gary Neville was saying, like on ITV, was just saying like, Kane's like a top character, bounce back from that. I think it's just those little extra bits that they add to back Kane, and maybe not necessarily they don't add in other cases. But I mean, we're not surprised.
Kind of is what it is.
Harry Kane's the golden boy. We know this. Like he's got an MBE. He's the only player to get an MBE for England making it to the semi-final in 2018. None of the.
He's got MBE.
MBE, yeah. Harry Kane got an MBE for winning the Golden Boot at the World Cup in 2018. None of the other England members got an MBE despite them making the semi-final. He's the only one to get it.
This MBE is like Employee of the Month award.
They have turned it into a bit of a joke when it comes to like footballers and stuff.
Like when it meant to be like an honor to get an MBE.
Yeah, it used to be an honor. But yeah, like I said, like Harry Kane's the golden boy, so it don't shock me. Again, I wouldn't wish him to miss the penalty because I ain't got no proof of Harry Kane. Harry Kane's a great player, and but
as a non-England fan, it was kind of funny just because even though I thought he was gonna miss, it's just like, whoa, this is high, like this is way over the bar.
That was bad, man. That was bad. Still.
But same time, like it doesn't change my like what I think of him as a player. He's still a great player and whatnot. But hey, man, you win some, you lose some, man. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm saying, big up Vibhab in the chat as well, saying non-England fan here. Yeah, there's a few, like obviously big up yourself, man. But yeah, Rash, just before we move on to talk about Morocco beating Portugal, just some final thoughts for me on the France-England game.
I think it was an all right game. I think they both did quite well. It was, as Jeff said earlier on, a game of small margins between them both. It could have gone the other way. It just could have gone either way. It was one of those games. I think England actually played quite well. I think the boys made a good account of themselves. I think Saka had a really good game. They knew he was trouble. They put a couple players on him. They was really rough on him to make sure that they could contain him. The linesman had a rubbish game. The referee had a rubbish game. I think Southgate could have been a little bit more proactive with the subs, a little bit earlier. Could have made the changes. I think the game was calling for a Mount. It was actually a Mount type game. I thought he would have been all right in the game. I think they were lacking a bit of creativity as well. So it would have been good if Grealish could have came on. I don't think Foden was doing as much as he normally does in the game. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. You guys highlighted Stones, man. I really like that guy, man. He played really well. He's a solid defender. Very calm on the ball, relaxed, and what he does is he puts confidence in the players in front of him because he's so calm on the ball that he's relaxed. The goals, I mean, they were good goals. I mean, when Giroud scores a header, you can't really say anything because that's his bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think Maguire could have done a little bit better.
This is the thing, I was thinking.
I mean, just a little bit.
Tough,
it's tough because it's Giroud,
and it's a great ball, innit? It's a great ball too.
I don't even know if I can give him it, man. The cross is too vicious.
I'm thinking that can I blame Maguire? Like,
I was thinking about Griezmann's uh just his ability is just amazing. I was watching the game and I was saying this guy needs to be contained. If they don't contain Griezmann, it's going to be a problem. Like you could see, he was dictating the game. He's pulling the strings, and you know what? Like when Ian Wright was like making a point of saying that Griezmann is the guy to watch, I was thinking, why are you drawing for Griezmann? I haven't seen really much from him. What are you talking about? Do you know what I
that's
mean?
what
But
I
I'm not gonna lie. I was
on the
even
money,
thinking,
man.
yeah, I was thinking, why are you trying to take the attention off the mandem? You know what I mean? Because everyone was talking about
yeah,
Mbappe, Dembele, and I was like, what's wrong with this guy? You know what I mean? But in that game, I mean, he was right. He was pulling the strings, and he was the one who was making any form of chances that France had. He was the guy who was creating it. So yeah, you're right. The ball was unstoppable, but at the same time, you can't really fault him because it's Giroud, and it was a brilliant ball. You know what I mean? So what can you do? So anyway, in regards to Jane, poor guy, he like
Jane.
done well in the first penalty. It was a really, really, really good penalty. I think the first one. Do you know what I mean? I think it was like taken very well, but that second one, man. That second one, I mean, I understand. It's weird because you look at Harry Kane and you see the professionalism in him and the way that he's a tough guy. You know what I mean? He's always collected, especially when he has to give interviews after the game and so forth like that. So you just think composure when you think of him, and he lacked a lot of it there. You could see he wanted to hit it high because that's what seems to have been working, and I don't blame him for that. But to not get it on target with the ability that you have in the type of game with everything that's on the line, you got to hit the target. And it's a shame it had to be him. You know what I mean? But it is. He messed up this time. He hit it to Rosed, and it's cost them the game ultimately, because if they had put that back in, I mean, I think England, if we was thinking about who was leaning to be the better team in the game, I think England was actually the better team in the game. So I think from there it could have gone, it could have kicked on. Do you know what I mean? But you can't talk about ifs and maybes. What's done is done, and England are out.
Yeah, man.
100%. I think that's well said, man. And I don't know about what you guys thought, but I actually thought Mbappe actually played a very mature game. I think Mbappe didn't let himself get caught up in the hype of every time I get the ball, I have to take Walker on Sue's quicker. He was actually playing very smart in terms of slowing it down and playing the ball nicely between the lines, between the gaps, finding teammates, bringing the team up the pitch, and being explosive when he needed to. So I actually thought he played really well, Mbappe. I thought Griezmann was France's best player, for sure. But I thought actually Mbappe played pretty well, to be honest. And I saw a few people afterwards saying Mbappe always doing the same thing. If he doesn't use his pace, he's useless. I don't know, man. When I saw that, I see a few people say that. I'm just like, you guys obviously know that I prefer people with technical ability, but I think it's going way too far now when people are discrediting players who have pace. It's like
it's senseless, man. Let's just call it what it is.
You can't be as quick as Mbappe and have Messi's dribbling. You cannot have it. Like you can't. So let's stop killing Mbappe because his main attribute is his pace, because he's still good at the other aspects of the game. It's just that's elite. Like let's stop all this thing of everyone has to look as beautiful, be as involved in the game as another to be a good player. Like, and I've seen that starting to happen with Mbappe. Like, I don't get it personally, but yeah,
they need to stop that. Let's just say this: Mbappe is the best in the world.
I would actually after this World Cup again, I might be mad. I would actually agree with you because Mbappe actually played more mature than I saw Neymar play for Brazil against Croatia.
Yeah,
that
like
minutes from Neymar against Croatia was not acceptable.
Yeah, they can say this like Mbappe against England. Like England kind of had Kane kind of not Kane. Kyle Walker kind of played as like a right centre back for a lot of it, so they didn't get hit on the break.
Never went up once.
Yeah, like it was like 2-3 players. I'll be at Henderson, maybe Bellingham, whoever's on that side, just to kind of surround Mbappe.
He kept doing Henderson.
Yeah, but like for England's sake, you can say England nullified him quite well. Like they did what they had to do, but in putting 3 players on him, you freed up Griezmann. That's what you did, because you're so scared about Mbappe, and you got Kyle Walker kind of playing as an extra centre back. That now, when it comes to that gap between defense and midfield, Griezmann was, especially in the first half, Griezmann was running riot. That second half, he had a tougher time, but first half he was having fun. Like he's stopping their attacks as well. Anytime they try and run away, he was just clipping them until he got the yellow. He was just having fun. But the direct threats, like the obvious ones in this tournament, Mbappe and Dembele, they kind of did well. Like Dembele didn't expose Shaw too much. Maybe once or twice he got the legs on him, but a lot of the time he didn't really have anywhere to go. After he'd gone past Shaw, it was like the sneaky one, man. Like Ian Wright said it for a reason, I'm guessing, about Griezmann, man. There's like the guy who's forgotten about. Like he's still Griezmann though. Like he's not. Griezmann's never been dead. Like can say he's one of those guys where he sometimes doesn't like give a best account of himself. Like sometimes, but in this tournament, he's been good.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. I think he's been the second best player.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Behind Mbappe.
Yeah. As you're speaking about Mbappe, I mean, what everyone was expecting him to do was go down the line and try to, as you're saying, try to take on Walker that way, and then go probably to the bar line, cut back inside, and do the Mbappe thing. But what he was doing, he was getting past the halfway line, and as soon as he was reaching like the final quarter of the pitch, he was cutting inside and then playing balls on the inside and switching with the centre man, and then making runs through the centre towards the goal. His movement was good because it was just creating a lot of space. It was just creating so much space because they were so fearful of what he could do. So yeah, he had a very mature game. He didn't stand out because of it, because it's when you take risks and they come off that everyone notices it. But he played a very mature game. It was a team game, and the way that they did it was a very professional performance, and that's why they got the victory. You have to remember they scored 2 clear goals against England. Yes. You know what I'm trying to say? 2 clear goals against England. The first one was an amazing shot. I don't
even know where it came from.
I don't even know. Trust me.
It wasn't making sense when he shot. I was like, why is he shooting?
You lot don't it's weird. I'm gonna of all the people I could kind of compare it to, that I'm sure I could have found better, but it just seems very Ramsey-esque the way he hit that. When Ramsey hits it like that and it goes in. Back in the day when he was at Arsenal, when he was having his when he was having his really good seasons at Arsenal, it just reminds me of one of those hits, man. It was just really good, clean,
sneaky shot. Oh yeah, can we kill Neymar? Or I don't want to kill Neymar, but
I mean, we can talk about Brazil now and then go on to Morocco next. So obviously we got to speak about Morocco as well. But we can kill Neymar now. Let me just read the comments first. I thought England did well, and it was actually nobody's fault. But the penalty miss, Southgate removing Saka, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, no, taking Saka off was crazy. Taking Saka off was mad. We got Falak in the building saying, hello, gentlemen, John, Jeff, and Rash. How we doing? Where's Jalil? Oh, you killed him, Falak. That's where he is.
He's hiding. He's hiding.
Morocco for the win. England was a shambles. Sad to see Ronaldo leave on a low note. Felt real bad. And for a player that has achieved so much, you'd hope that he leaves on a high note. We'll speak about Ronaldo too, because it is the end. We'll speak about him too. Sad for Ronaldo and LOL for Portugal. They say this in football: never let the same player take 2 penalties. We have heard that in the same game. We have all heard that. Griezmann has been so underrated. He's got 3 assists already. And by the way, if Mbappe wins this World Cup, then boy, he will be up there with Platini, Ronaldo phenomenon with 2 World Cups at the age of 23, and will be able to equal Pelé's record and break Klose's record.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's all factual as well. Like Mbappe can happen. He will be 27 at the next World Cup. Saliba, Konate, Tchouameni, Camavinga, Dembele, they will all be in their prime. Magnon, the keeper from AC Milan. I mean, mean,
I'm
boy,
excited to see the next World Cup because I think in
Yeah.
regards to who's got probably a high chance of winning the next one, I think England are actually quite high. And the reason why I say that is that they've started
they
their
are.
transition. They've started their transition early. They've got onto the young
Good
kids,
point.
and the young kids are already playing at a high level, getting to good positions in tournaments over the last 3 tournaments. And I think they will be mature and at a certain age, a peak of their powers, shall we say, at that age that they will be, in order to really compete at a high level, to be the most threatening team there is in the tournament. And because I believe that most of the teams right now, they're on their way out. They're just saying goodbye to their oldies. Do you know what I mean? And their middle-aged players are coming to be in the older players now. So they need to kind of bring their new young talent in, and they're going to be in their teething stages. So where England will be, they'll be in a more certified level compared to these new ones, I think, anyway. So I
Yeah,
think,
they got their competitions. 3 teams, I think. It's France,
yeah, France.
Brazil,
Mhm.
Spain,
I was going to say Spain, definitely, because they got a
Portugal.
few young, they got a lot of young talent as well.
Portugal. Sorry,
Portugal will
Leao
be
and that is
New
Portugal
coach,
will,
new coach,
will
innit? New coach.
Portugal will be the old boys in the competition. I reckon not the old boys, but the older, as in mature
Older.
team in
Yeah,
the
they'll be more mature. Yeah, they'll be more mature.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
for the
yeah,
most part.
Lau,
Yeah,
what a player.
that
Jeez.
guy's dangerous, man. Dangerous
Very,
player.
very.
But
Again, the new coach will be playing Leao. That's for sure.
Mm.
yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, let's get on to Brazil, man. Obviously, they got shocked by Croatia, man. I think losing on penalties. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Nah, I didn't see that goal coming.
Yeah, Croatia's goal came from nowhere. Brazil actually scored a great goal. Neymar's goal was a great goal.
It was
Great team play.
sick, bro.
But again, like Brazil does this. The funny thing is, Brazil definitely deserved to win. They had way more chances than Croatia,
Yeah.
but it's just they didn't. I don't think they played well enough to remove all element of doubt. They kept Croatia hanging around just enough, which is why I'm so annoyed with Neymar's performance in the first 90. Man, I don't know. You just can't trust him sometimes when he's by himself. Like when he's not,
So you can't trust him.
like, when he's not with Messi or something. It's like when he's by himself just to do whatever he wants. He starts doing some of the
Man.
things he does are so mad. Like when he comes deep and tries to rip a man in his own half and loses it, or tries dumb passes. I'm like, bro, you can't keep wasting these possessions. These matter, like, and that's my only problem with him, man. Like,
No,
Neymar
like
needs to prove that he can lead a team to anything serious, and that's so sad to say, but it's just true.
I have to actually give him some credit this time. Because normally in a crunch situation, Neymar's the guy that normally plays well, but there's no end product.
This was
Like,
the opposite.
Yeah, like normally, like maybe bar the Bayern game is one I can think of. Like,
Oh yeah, the Bayern
where
game, yeah,
he was
yeah.
just poor. But
Oh, the
like,
final.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
good in the final.
final,
But
yeah.
in other situations, like he's the guy where I remember even one game against Real Madrid when he first joined like PSG, he ripped them all game, but then it just gets to the final like moments and he just tenses up, he'll miss, just a bunch of stuff. Like this game was kind of like, yeah, the opposite. Like you said, like, all right, I played poor, but the one moment where you need me, I turn
I'm
up.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because that goal was a great goal. But
Great goal.
I can't even blame him this time. Like, I actually can't, because you did what. Like those are those small moments a lot of the time which separate the men from the boys, or like the greats from the good. Like I played poor for 90 minutes, but here's one moment of magic. Here my team goes through. Like this one is kind of like it's just naivety from Brazil, because how are you getting caught in the transition like that? Like it was like a Casemiro tackle that went the wrong way, and that's what undone you.
Bro,
Like
there's
I
a
can't blame
clip,
Neymar for that.
there's a clip that shows Fred is the second furthest forward man. Why is Fred there in the first place, bro?
Fred, I'm blaming Fred, you know. Fred came on, yeah. Do you see it? The ball was on the edge of the box. He controlled it and he handballed it. Bro, it was like a dangerous attack. He controlled the ball, yeah. He just handballed it. Like, yeah, free kick. Oh my God. This guy here, Frederick. Oh my God,
But,
Frederick. But
yeah,
I actually can't. I can't blame him this time. I actually
I'm not
can't.
blaming Neymar. I'm just like, oh man, just.
Or yeah, I can't be. I won't say blame. I can't be disappointed because normally it's all right, bro. You ran past 9 players, you've gone past the keeper, and you've hit the corner flag. This time it's like, this time it's like, all right, like I've been dead. But the one moment you need me, that goal was out of nothing.
Out of nothing.
Not even like they tried to foul him a couple times.
Yeah.
Shrugged
And
it
again,
off.
that shows what he can do when he's willing to ride the challenges. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Even the finish, like most people fall down.
exactly.
Like, that finish is underrated because like there's still someone on the line. He roofed it. Like that's a good finish. Yeah, that's a great finish.
Great
like,
finish.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Like Brazil, that was a big shock. I don't know what Croatia have going on, like how they keep doing this, but I gotta salute it. 2 successive semi-finals in the World Cup, and you've got a 37-year-old in your midfield. You haven't got the best of teams, like, if we're being honest.
Their forward line is bad. It's the forward line that kills them.
Yeah, and somehow you're in the most prized competition in the last 4 again. Hey, I can give you a clap.
Yeah,
I don't know how you did it.
Once they get to penalty shootouts, bro, just call it a write-off now, bro. They're winning that penalty shootout. It doesn't matter, bro.
Oh yeah, and and maybe they're not going to hear us, bro. They might not, but the penalty order matters. You shouldn't put an 18-year-old first. Let it set the tone correctly. Like I think you mentioned it. Said these big players need to stop tucking their tail,
leaning
and going
into
last.
These men. Yeah,
and like, oh yeah, I'll be the 5th, because penalty shootouts don't really go like that a lot of the time. Like a lot of the time, you might need to be 1st or 3rd just to restore some order, stabilize it. Like first, I don't like. Don't get me wrong. Like 12 yards is 12 yards, but we just mentioned Kane is one of maybe the best shooters in the world. Like just shots, and he missed from 12 yards. You've given this to an 18-year-old or 19. How old Rodrigo?
It's a lack of courage, because if you think that, if you think, look, the team is leaning on you. They're leaning on you to set the example, to say, you know what, we're gonna go to the next round. I'm gonna go first. You're gonna want one of the big players to step up. You're gonna want your Neymars. You're gonna want your Casemiros. You're gonna want people with experience to say, I'm taking the first kick. You know what I mean? And take the ease off of the younger players, not throw them into it. So I think, again, another bit of naivety there from the Brazilians. You had it in the game towards the end, losing out there on the, as you said, the Casemiro challenge that went the wrong way. And how did you manage to let them capitalize like that? Do you know what I mean? But and then again in the penalty shootout, Neymar didn't even get a chance to take his shot, his kick. You know what I mean? That's what you get. We've seen it before. You know what I'm trying to say? And people don't learn from that. But let's see if they do from now on. But that was a big upset. I hate Croatia, but well done. I hate them as a team, as to watch them play. I think they're just
horrible as hell, right?
Yeah, that horrible to watch. Like, but it works. Whatever they're doing, it works. You know what I mean? Can't knock it. So well done to them.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with Croatia is because they've got no forwards, they've got really technical midfield, and what it just feels like is they just keep the ball. They keep the ball with no intention of doing anything with it. We're just keeping the ball to kill the clock. That's what it generally feels like sometimes watching them. We are just killing the clock.
I have a doubt they might give it to Perisic for his traditional one step over, and he normally gets away from someone as well somehow. Yeah. He's still getting away from people at 33, 34 with this one step over.
Their play.
Whips a sick ball in, but no one's in the danger.
No one's there.
Everyone's in the midfield.
Attack over. Like, bro, like if you look at Croatia's World Cup run, 2-0 to Belgium, 2-0 to Morocco. What is it? They
oh man,
did they play in the last 16? Japan. One with Japan.
Yeah.
One with Japan went extra time pens. One with Brazil extra time pens. Like last World Cup, every single knockout game went to a penalty shootout except England, which went to extra time. So these men like have not won a knockout game in 90 minutes in 2 World Cups, and they've made one final and 1 semi.
And now they're playing against Argentina.
Man,
And they could beat Argentina.
Of them boys are
Easily.
efficient, man.
They could easily beat Argentina.
Because Argentina, again, like, all right, again, if Messi isn't playing well, who do you look to? Like, Di Maria's 35. Like, he's not 2014 Di Maria. Lautaro Martinez is sometime-ish. Like, you don't know what Lautaro Martinez is going to turn up. Dybala hasn't even stepped on the pitch.
That's mad.
Like, he's just sitting there doing the celebration from the bench. How are you not featured?
Hey, listen. I don't know, yeah. I want Argentina to lose, bruv.
Same.
Oh, damn.
And it's for the same reason why I wanted them to win. Is now why I want them to lose. It's that boy Messi.
Oh,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like arrogance. That last game he was on something, but he was on a lot of smoke. And I like the aggression, I like it and stuff, but there's going over the top, do you know what I mean? And I'm tired of him getting this Messi treatment because he's Messi, nothing happens to him. Like, people are scared to slap him in his face and stuff. Like, no, man. He's just doing the most. And yeah, I didn't like seeing that, especially at the World Cup. Got people watching him.
Where he punched the ball.
Yeah.
And the ref said no yellow.
Yeah. Like, he was doing wild challenges, like shouting, going crazy, like huffing and puffing. Do you know what I mean? Don't like that. A lot of children look up to the guy, and I'm not saying that, you know, he has to live for the people, but at the same time, when you know you're showcasing a big event and everyone's going to be watching you, you've got a lot of youngsters who are looking at you. Even my children looking at you, they just want to see Messi play, and you're acting a fool on the pitch and acting a fool towards the other team and stuff like that. And that sort of banter in a professional game like this is, to me, it's just uncalled for. I think it was a real unprofessional display from the Argentinian side altogether, to be honest.
Yeah, let's be honest, the team is full of scumbags. The team is full of scumbags. I don't know if they turned Messi into a scumbag, but he behaved like a scumbag on Friday. I can't even lie. Like, the guy punched the ball. The ref gave him no yellow, and he's coming out afterwards saying the referee was not good enough. Bro, the referee was literally booking plays in the other teams when you were just dropping.
Yeah.
No one's touching. You're dropping on the floor. The ref's like, free kick, yellow card. The other players are laughing. Van Dijk is laughing like, bro, are you doing this because it's Messi?
But it's like, trust me, bro. I'm tired of it.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, other man will be getting killed for this, and this guy's getting praised for it.
He's hyping to players. He's pushing players and stuff like that.
If
like,
it wasn't the game.
Keep your hands down. Like, give him a quick backhand, man will go flying across the stadium.
No offense, bro. Like, why is Messi hyping up to Weghorst? He's 6'6", bro. You're like 5'5", bro.
You see Weghorst tried to shake his hand, and
Messi
didn't.
Why is he declining? Why is he declining Weghorst's handshake? What's Weghorst done, bro? Like, nah, man. Yeah, that's not acceptable. And then you got all his sidemen. You got all his sidemen on the side, ready to just jump in and back it for Messi. Like, them man are just a bunch of sidemen, bro. They can't even think for themselves.
They better jump in for the best thing they had since Maradona. You better. If you don't,
talk to yourself, bro. Come on, man.
You're not making the next World Cup squad, even if Messi's not in there. Messi will be 39. He might just make a call and say, "Don't put him in there."
I was even hearing the girls in the stadium on the bench. I'm like, this man has brought out his boys from primary school, brother. Nah, man.
These are isolated incidents. Now, it's been 2 decades of what we normally would call professionalism, yeah, like for a lot of it. So in these isolated incidents, that's not enough now to switch your whole persona. Like, if it happens, it happens. Like, at this point.
Bro, I don't know. I'm with Rash. I ain't trying to see how
it's not great, but at the same time, it's like, all right, you're 35. This is your last World Cup. Like you're hanging on by a thread and you're getting done by
Literally.
Weghorst.
But you know what is
Weghorst
mad?
ripped him.
Do you know what the mad thing is as well, though?
Our records,
I don't
G.
want to see Croatia in the final. Hell no. I don't want to see that shit as well at the same time. So I want Argentina to go through, but I don't. It's weird.
See, the thing
I
is,
get it.
It'd be nice for them to get to the final and lose.
I think
They probably will.
wins between Argentina and Croatia, I will want them to lose the final,
Yeah,
Yeah,
regardless.
regardless
I'll
of
say,
whether it's France or Morocco.
yeah, I say France are the favorites, but the way Morocco are going, Morocco are just a
You know
thorn in people's
what?
sides.
You know what
Shout
might
out
kill
to the
Morocco?
Maghrebi man, them. Shout out to my Maghrebi people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Salute to
they
them.
got
Doing
they
fantastic. Morocco, brilliant
they,
squad. Like they're putting some brilliant performances out of the bag. They just
they
played.
deserved it against Portugal.
They
Well,
played
you should have
solid.
won by more.
Should have won
Yeah,
my man. That
they
guy,
were
man, they missed
solid.
that shit, bro.
Their
Yeah.
defense is really good. They're just so well organized. You know, they just cover for each other. It's very hard to break down. When you get a chance against them, it's not a real chance. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Mm-hmm.
they do what they do best, which is score a goal against the run of play, and then sit on it, and then try to score another one against the run of play. But it's just really good. They don't lose their heads. The ball goes out, they'll try and chase it. If they don't get it back into formation, the manager's got them drilled very well. Yeah, man, like they are a representation of how good this World Cup has actually been,
Yeah.
because it's been so competitive, from the teams that you wouldn't think would be doing well, against the ones who you'd think would walk it. They're the ones getting kicked out early. Morocco have done so well to get as far as they have. They're breaking records every step they take forward. You know, for the first African nation to reach this far in the World Cup. You know, first Arab cultured nation to be this
Yeah,
far as well.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So uh, they've got a lot of
Monumental.
support. Yeah, they've got a lot of support. There's a lot of people who have gone out and they're supporting them now, because everyone loves an underdog and they
Yes.
deserve it.
They
And
deserve it. They
it's
deserve
also,
to be Portugal.
yeah,
You know what I'm trying
it's
to say?
mad
Like, really
because
happy for them.
their players are like they put in so much pain that a lot of their players are playing on injuries. Like Saiss had like a heavily strapped hamstring, he went off. Like I'm sure like 3 or 4 players, other players are playing through injuries. Like that's just a testament to like how hard well they've played throughout the whole tournament. Because even I see Felix comment now of like who they've had to face. Like there's been a lot of tricky teams, and
Hard
Spain,
teams.
like it's when they won 7-0, we were saying, oh, Spain looked decent. Like I know it was Costa Rica, but 7-0 is impressive. And Morocco really could have won by 2 or 3 if they just had better composure in the final third.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's the striker thing. But they've got a nice team. They've got a really good goalkeeper. Their left back is very impressive. I thought he was very good against Portugal. Hakimi, we know about him. Centre backs have been very solid. I like their midfield.
Solid,
I don't know who
man.
their number 8 is. I forgot his
Unahi.
name.
Unahi.
Yes. Yeah, him. He was really good. Buffal, we've known about Buffal as a talent.
He's shown that because when he was at Southampton, right? Like even when he's at Southampton, he's one of those players, you know, he has a moment in there, but it's just like, all right, when you gonna get it? Is it gonna be in this game or is it gonna be in 12 games time? Like it's kind of just consistency of him, but you can always see he's had ability.
Yeah, always. And I just think I look back, what proper chances did Portugal create over the course of the 90 minutes?
Bruno Fernandes had a good shot. It was just over. I think it went just over.
That one, yes. The one that went just over, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Ronaldo had a little snapshot when he came on, which is really a third of a chance. Like it wasn't a real chance. Like he had no space really. But that's really it. I can't think of much else chance-wise.
The thing now in Morocco is I'm hoping that at least Saiss will be fit so he can play centre back for them.
Yeah.
do we think they've got any chance against France? Because as we saw with France against England, Morocco will probably have more of the ball against France than they've had against Portugal and Spain. But France don't mind just letting the other team have the ball. Do we give Morocco any chance on Wednesday night against France? I mean, just imagine.
Look, I think you have to give them a chance.
Yeah.
So you'll be naive to think that they can't. I mean, they took on Spain, they took on
Belgium,
Portugal, they took on Belgium.
Croatia.
You know, Croatia. I mean, these ain't low caliber teams. These are teams that are high up on the world's best rankings, teams rankings. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
England ain't being as many good teams in tournaments than Morocco have.
Exactly, and this is, and I think
that's a fact.
Exactly, and when you underestimate a team that is on a run like what they are on, that's when you're gonna get spun, because that's what they've been doing. They've been pulling off shocks, you know. So you've got to respect them. Anyone can be beaten, and that's what they're showing. And if they continue to play with the heart that they're playing, anything's possible. Anything.
Just imagine them in the final, man. Oh.
Imagine them winning it. What it would do.
Now, if they get to the final, I'm gonna go Edgware Road to watch it.
Bruv. Like,
Bro,
it would be a family gathering first, and then
it's 3 p.m.
and then heading out the streets. No, because obviously the family's Moroccan. They got, like, even when I was watching the game, it was at the father-in-law's house, and all the family was around there. It was a great atmosphere in the house, you know. It went a bit solemn afterwards when we watched the England game, but hey, it is what it is. But it was, if they was to get to the final and do something, definitely be hitting those streets afterwards.
100%, man, and I'll definitely join you. And I just think that would be so mad for them to make the final, man. And if they won it,
man,
I'll
change the World Cup, man.
We've seen stranger things.
You know what the maddest thing about that is? If they were to win the World Cup, as much as people will say it will help Africa, because I think it will, I think also European teams will be like, hey, nah. We can't let this run. We can't be letting African teams do this. We need to sort out whatever's going on, because this can't be. Because you know what it's like? If Morocco win, and people will see if Morocco win the World Cup, even if they don't, how much love they will get back home once they touch down back in Morocco.
What?
And a lot of these men that play for these countries, the European countries, will see the love you get there. It's not the
John.
Maybe you'll play for your team you're meant to play for.
It means so much more. It means so much more. I mean, you have to understand that the players who are playing in the Moroccan national squad, they're not rich. A lot of them are not rich. Their parents are still living in the ends. You know, they're still living in the old village. They're still living in the same homes that they grew up in. They're just proud of their child. You know, they live very modest lives. You see them, their mothers are in the crowds. They're hugging and kissing them after the game, and you see them, their mothers, they're just mums. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Moms,
and like, to be such a simple people, because they are Moroccan people, are like they don't need much to be okay. Do you know what I mean? They're very cool people, relaxed nation. And to see them be able to achieve something like that with a bunch of modest lads, with the guys that they have in the team, you know, it would just be amazing for the country in itself, what it would do for them, not just financially, but to bring them together, to put it on the map, to give them the recognition that is due, and to provide a platform for the rest of the African nations. Because you could win the African Cup of Nations a million times, ain't no one caring about that. But if you win the World Cup, now they're gonna have to start paying attention. When the African Cup of Nations is on, people are gonna be like, yo, we need to be watching that. Them boys, they won the World Cup.
You know what I mean? So, facts.
You know, so it would mean a lot.
Yeah, let me read some of the comments. We've got a lot of comments on this, and but yeah, big up Falak saying Argentina can lose, Messi can suck eggs too. Damn.
Wow. Jesus.
And Parade is the dumbest twat on the pitch, kicking the ball towards the Dutch bench, and Van Dijk bodying him. Yeah, I can't.
That's
I love,
hilarious.
I love when Van Dijk bodied him to the floor.
I love that.
That was too
He didn't even get a booking as well.
Trust the ref
Yeah.
knew, because the ref knew. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's still. And ironically, the Portugal-Morocco game had all Argentinian refs and VARs. Now, see, listen, I want to touch on this because I saw Pepe come out after the game and say, "How can we have Argentinian refs?" Now, I don't know if it's because of like, does he think the Argentinian ref is thinking, "No, Messi's the goal. I can't let Ronaldo through." Like, is it like? I just don't understand. Like, Portugal were just such sore losers, bro. You lost.
Just get out, man.
There wasn't
They've even trying.
one controversial decision. I don't remember.
They're even trying to say the same about the guy who ref the England-France game. They're trying to say the Brazilian guy is a French fan.
Oh,
That's what you do. That's what
Oh,
they're
you
doing.
went
Wait,
out.
what?
Yeah,
They said
the
what?
French is a fan of France. The referee.
Honestly, bro, just
Take your
just
beating like a
Take it
man.
out.
go home.
Hmm?
And go home. Vib have saying Argentina to go
Oh
through
my
and
God.
get stuck. Wow, okay. Damn.
Whoa. Okay.
God damn. Okay.
Jeez.
Vib have, man. Trust. Morocco has had the hardest road in this World Cup. They've had Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and Croatia. If any team deserves this, then no one can say they've had an easy run as well, which is another amazing thing. No one can discredit it. And I think that's the same thing that Vib is saying here. Yeah, their run's been crazy. If they get to the final, they need to win 100%. They need to win 100%. John, if it come down to my ends, it's going to be lit. Hey, where's your ends? Me, Jeff, Rash, and Jalil. If you don't kill him before that, we'll all be there. Your ends still. We'll all be there in your ends.
Sounds like a
Big up
setup.
Ed in the building saying,
Yep.
Viva France, trust. Viva France, big up Ed. Moroccan people are blessed. They're happy with the simplest of things in life, and they're always grateful for things like this. Well said, Rash. Yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's
Can I just add an extra curveball into all of this? Yeah.
yes.
And I always go off the topic, but it's related. Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to see from the historical point of view as well what Morocco have done. Okay. You have to understand that Morocco, I mean the Moors, they once ruled Spain and Portugal. You understand? It was a part of their nation, and the way they were ousted out as well, and they lost as well, is something that even to this day, the Portuguese, the symbols that are on their flag represent the moment when they retook their country from the Moors. Okay, so it's a big thing when by them beating Spain, it's like them beating one conqueror because the Spanish then obviously invaded Morocco back in the day as well, and then also by them beating Portugal, it's like them getting the revenge on that as well. And if they can beat France, who ruled over Morocco for long periods of time, oppressing them back in the day, what it means mentally as well for the region, them being able to come back and defeat their former foes in that way, such a small nation compared to them, it means a lot. It means something different to the people. It means something different.
I just think that historical element can't be slept on in this. Like the run they've had feels so specific. The fact that
Yeah,
it's
it's true.
So specific, bro.
It feels so specific. Like that's what makes me think. I can't lie. I'll tell you, man. Now I do think France will win, but I can't rule out Morocco potentially doing something mad. Potentially,
It would be crazy.
It would be crazy. It would be sick if they did it. I can't lie.
Whatever it is, whatever the result, there's no loss for Morocco.
There's no loss. There's no loss. As soon as they beat Spain, anything else was a madness already. And for them to then beat Portugal fair and square, you can't. Nobody can knock Morocco for that. And it's so funny because I was just gonna say I was so funny because before England played France, you could see how the pundits, Gary Neville and all them man were like, yeah, Morocco man, so amazing today. What a story. And then as soon as they lose to France, they're like, lads, let's be honest, man. We had a chance to play Morocco in the next round, man. what a missed opportunity this was. And it's like, okay, yeah, now your true feelings come out. You never rated Morocco, really. You never rated Morocco, really. Like, you might were already looking ahead thinking, oh, if we beat France, we get Morocco and that. We're going to slap them and get to the final. And now you're actually going home.
Well,
So nice humbling, man.
But that's what they were saying in the interviews, didn't it? Afterwards, they were saying like, "Oh, it's a missed opportunity because if they beat France, they would have had Morocco."
Yeah, hey, man, you're out. It's over. Just try again in 2026, man.
Now, real talk. It's peak for England still. It's peak for England, but like.
Do you know what? I'm more happy that the boys are coming home and we can get the Premier League back up and running, and we've got away with only one injury, really.
Bad injury, but yeah,
it is a bad injury. But January, baby, transfer markets, baby.
Hey, I'm not excited until we sign somebody. All of these rumors are great.
What you man saying about these Mudryk talks? Because
I think that might happen.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Because obviously, if we're going to sign this guy for like, sounds like about 70, 75 million, he's a left winger. That's telling me. Yeah, go on, Rash.
I've heard something in the region of actually 42 million.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that they were asking for 60, something like that. But I've over the last few weeks, I've seen things 42 million, 45, 47, and stuff like that. But I'm really kind of excited about the prospect of us having him. I really like him. I think I want to see what he can do, just from a footballer's fan point of view perspective. I just want to see. Okay, I want to see if he can do that in the Prem.
If he can ball out, yeah.
And if he can do it for Arsenal, I'd love that.
So, do you think that's because if he comes, he will start on the left, right? We assume that's what he plays for, Shakhtar. So do you think you're setting in the plans for saying Martinelli long-term future as a centre forward? Do you think that's what you're doing?
I don't think immediately. No, I think they're all gonna rotate. Like I think Saka. I think that's what. Even if you look at like Arteta's what he's done since he's got to Arsenal, it all replicates where he came from. Like the 2-3-5 in attack, the different options that we're trying to like get like centre back, the left back, right back, like the goalie being comfortable with his feet from the back, like completely comfortable starting attacks. The midfield, like the surprise, I guess it's not like KDB or something, it's Xhaka, but you can see it's like the same kind of thing, like the same kind of mode. So I think if Mudryk comes, it will be like a rotation thing. Like Saka can finally get some rest. Like I've been saying it for so long. Like, I feel like he's going to be on burnout. Like I know they say, oh, you should be able to play 70 games a year, but he's been playing 60 games a year for 2-3 years. Yeah, like he needs to rest because otherwise his body will wear and tear, and you end up seeing a Sanchez kind of thing where you played so much football. Remember, you used to hear the stories about like a Sanchez. He'll come back from Copa America, have 3 days rest, and then go and play again. Then you wonder why his body failed.
I think Wenger literally came out a few days ago and said he regrets bringing Sanchez back one summer too quick after winning Copa America. He said it impacted him the whole season because he never got back to it. Even emotionally, winning the Copa America was so big that when he comes back, it's like there's an anticlimax part to it. You need to get out of your system, and it's hard to get out of your system when you're then playing again.
Yeah, like even like the reliability that England and Arsenal have on Saka, it's like, and the way he plays like a wheelchair. Like you invite fouls.
Yes,
that like we speak about Hazard and like how inviting fouls and how you play impacts like the longevity of your career. Hazard's body died at 29.
Yes,
I don't want that to happen with Saka.
But Saka keeps himself in better shape.
He does, but imagine like if you keep taking knocks,
it's just one tackle is all it could take. Yeah,
even like a Neymar. We look at Neymar. There shouldn't be a clause where they can't tackle you in training. That's all because of wear and tear. Like because you've taken so many beatings in tackles that now you know what, we're scared. Like you're in a big investment. We're not going to tackle you in training. That's not the way football should be played. So rotate the guy, and let's have a free flowing attack. If you have Mudryk, Martinelli, Marquinhos, Saka, Nketiah, Jesus.
What you man saying about them Joao Felix rumors? I saw today that obviously his agent is shopping him around.
Man,
and apparently,
Jeff, you're excited about that, isn't it?
and if that happens, it's great, but that means that Jesus goes to the bench. I hope everyone realizes that bit.
I realize that, and I'll take that. No offense to Jesus, but if you can give me Joao Felix in the system that Arteta's created, I can't lie, man. We can't turn down the chance to get Joao Felix if we can, man.
So I'm seeing, I think they've said between 82 and 89 million.
So potential, let's say between 120 and 150 on 2 players, and that's not even addressing the centre mid that we need. I keep seeing we're linked with that 6'4" centre back. Was it Ndika? Evan Ndika?
But that's for the summer.
Him as well.
Yeah, but that's for the summer.
Yeah, like apparently we're looking at him. I keep seeing that with progressive talks with Tillemans, but that looks like it'll probably be for the summer.
I even forgot we out here. We will get Tillemans still.
It's just looking that way.
I'm moving correct.
There's also the Brazilian boy as well. Danilo as well. Yeah. Still in talks with their agents there as well.
Monaco bid though, so we need to get ahead of that.
Musa as well, gone back in for him, trying to bring him back to the Emirates.
Oh, the Valencia guy. Yeah, he's decent as well. Was he a right back?
No, I think he's centre mid.
Was he a centre mid? Okay, yeah. But I can't lie, yeah. I mean, boy, Felix Arsenal, boy.
Yeah, I can't even
danger. I don't want to talk on
that. I can't do it, man. Like, I've been heartbroken too many times.
Yeah,
Can you just imagine him just freed out of that cage that Simeone has put him in for so many years in the Premier League?
9 straight jackets.
Wearing, you know what I'm trying to say? Wearing the Arsenal badge though, just tearing up the league. Are you crazy?
Hey, there's something about seeing a top player sign for Arsenal and seeing them wearing that red and white. Like when I saw Ozil wearing that red and white the first time,
it felt right. Like,
yeah, this you were meant to wear the red and white. I can't lie, still.
Yeah, still does. Oh, man. Still does, man.
Yeah, now we need some. They need some props though, like Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, Arteta, and Edu. They do need some props because
they do.
18 months ago, it wasn't this.
No. They definitely deserve their credit. And like we said, in two weeks today, we play West Ham at home.
Big game, very big game.
And hopefully we can have Emil back by then as well.
Oh, is he going to be back? Huh?
Hopefully they're saying he should be back in time for that game.
He could be a false 9 option if Nketiah's doing that bad.
He's going to be like a new signing, man. We haven't had him all season.
Yeah, but speaking of the squad, look, I don't know if you guys have been following the games that we're having in a little cup match tournament that we're involved in. And man, Vieira's looking good. Odegaard looking good. Nketiah looking good. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
He's got a big task.
Big task, but this is his time.
Yeah, like this is what you got a new deal for.
That's what he wanted.
Same time, like Jesus is not just goals, of course. Like Jesus he gives us a different presence up there that we haven't had for a long time, where the ball can stick and he brings other people into play. And
that's what Eddie's got to do.
He's got to do because he's good at that, the chasing aspect and that kind of stuff. The ball's got to stick when it goes up there.
It's not
bad. It's not bad at it. It's not bad. It's
decent.
Yeah.
What's our fixtures in January? Let me just check. Okay, so let's just do this quick. We've got West Ham at home. I think we'll be West Ham at home.
I hope we do. And the only reason why I do that because I've got a little bit of shell shock from Arsenal a couple of years back. You know what I'm trying to say? Not even a couple of years back. Last year before that, for the last 20 years, that when we think we're doing good, we come after Christmas, boom, finished, downhill. But I'm trying to stay optimistic. Do you know what I mean? And put some in the boys. Trust in the boys.
Our Boxing Day to January is West Ham at home, then Brighton away, which is tough. Then Newcastle at home, tough.
Very tough.
Spurs away,
tough.
Tough. United at home,
Wow.
And then Everton away.
Like
Not
we don't
easy.
really win Spurs away, United at home.
That's a tough one to come back
No,
into.
United at home. We usually we can win
Yeah,
that.
United
We
at
do all
home.
right, yeah. We do all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
But
Again, it's still not easy. You still can't say that's a hard game. Still, like that's a hard. What's that? 6 fixtures. That's
why that 5-point cushion that we got, that's going to be key because unfortunately we're going to have a down spell at some point. We haven't had it yet. Like it's only really even the cities of the world have down spells. It's not for long. It might be 2 games. So we might have it in that period. It's about how we bounce back from it, and hopefully we do it when we still have a cushion.
Listen, hopefully we pick up Juventus's offer on Vlahovic. I heard he's back on the market.
He should stay where he chose to be.
and I heard they're throwing Locatelli back into the ring as well.
Who? Locatelli?
Yeah, they're throwing him back into the ring as well.
I thought you said Balotelli.
No, Locatelli.
Whoa.
And but it would be nice if Arsenal could do something like pull off a Chiesa or something like that. That would be fantastic.
Jeez.
You could tell I've just been sitting at home, just like, imagine
enjoying.
Imagine, yo.
I'm looking forward to the Prem coming back. You know.
Really.
I'm looking forward to the Prem coming back. But yeah, that's 6 hard games, and then after that, what we got? We've got Brentford at home, then City at home.
Then comes back at some point.
Then Villa away. That's tough now with Emery, and then Leicester away, who are actually doing. That's okay. That 9 games.
That's not easy.
That's gonna decide a lot. And they're all gonna be without Jesus.
Yeah,
he's gonna be back. End of Feb, early March.
Unless they're overselling when how bad the injury is, which they do sometimes.
They could be doing that. I wouldn't be shocked if he comes back maybe earlier than they said. That wouldn't shock me either.
I mean, I heard he had the same injury that Saka had, and Saka came back a bit quicker than he was meant to. But Shaka's made of something different.
Yeah, Saka always recovers quick, man.
I don't know what's going on with that guy's blood and bones.
Charles Wolverine.
Speaking of, did you see Broja's injury? Anyone?
I heard about it. I've read about it.
Yeah, he's
my God. By the scream, he's gonna be out of football for a while. I don't know how long, but he's gonna be down for a while.
And again, Jeff, that's the type of injury. Will you ever be back physically the same?
No, I know they have. Well, I know there's all kinds of different things, like treatments now. You can be as good as new, but just psychologically, man, that injury was just wild. Like the way it happened, it was Conte was. I don't know what Conte was doing first of all, back there, but bro, his injury just came out of nowhere. Like the scream was loud.
Yeah, bro, that scream. It reminded me of that R9 one where he broke his kneecap. And I saw it in his documentary, and you could see his scream, and it's like, no.
Which one? The one against Juve?
When he came on
he came on for 4 or 5 minutes, and he was done.
On his kneecap straight.
Crazy.
After coming back from a knee injury on that same knee,
for a whole year out.
5 minutes in, boom.
Hey, yeah, I say Messi's the greatest, but deep down, I think I know who it is. It's him.
Oh, R9.
Yeah. There's no way you come back from those kind of injuries, spend 4 years out, and then come back and score 8 in your World Cup.
I mean,
there's a lot of greats, man. There's a lot of greats. I don't think there's one GOAT. There can't be. Do you know what I'm trying to say? A lot of players are GOATs, man. They're in the herd. They're in the herd, isn't it? Goats are herds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think nowadays the GOAT thing is just being so overused. It's
in everything though. It's not just football, music.
Yeah.
Bro,
everything.
You got some young buck coming out making 2 tracks. I'm the GOAT.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You ain't done nothing.
I don't even know your name, cuz.
Even the people that they passed, obviously rest in peace, but you don't just suddenly become a GOAT because you passed. That's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works, and that's kind of happened to in basketball with Kobe Bryant. As soon as he passed away, now people that before had him 10th, 11th best all time, they're like, you know what? Is he top 2? I'm like, bro, the guy died and now he just jumped up 9 slots. Like, come on, look at the game for what it is. Like, I mean, it's like, but like you said, they apply in so many contexts. If Messi wins the World Cup, is he the GOAT? If Neymar wins the World Cup, is he the Brazilian goal? If Ronaldo wins this, is he the goal? And it's like, if Mudryk wins the World Cup, is he the midfield goal? And it's like, bro, like,
yeah, it's true though.
Do you know what? To find out who the nation's goats are, ask the people from that nation who the goat is. That's how you find out.
We know in Argentina who it is,
and you know in Brazil who it is. So you know what I'm trying to say. We just have to.
Yeah, man.
We have to respect that. They're two old men. One's passed away, and one. Oh, may Allah keep him here for a little bit longer, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they're immortalized footballers. Doesn't matter what like Messi does, unfortunately, but there's Maradona. You don't do all of that, especially when towards the later stages you don't really care.
Yeah.
Man playing football with a fat belly and big chest.
Man to Napoli just getting bought for £7 million and stuff in 1990 and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
that's mad.
That's crazy.
Bro, man went to World Cup 94 and was on cocaine, bro.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
He was ripping it. He was ripping it up.
We need to start including some of that, like, into why someone's the best. Now, I know that the professionalism of Messi and Ronaldo is great. Ronaldinho, R9, all these kind of guys. Like Ronaldinho, we know what his extracurricular activity was. He didn't give a damn about football.
There's no evidence of that, man.
R9 like is fat playing against Ghana. He can barely move, doing step overs on the goalie, like just bad stuff going on.
Yeah, it's so true, man. That's one thing about them times there that like you can almost appreciate that and be like, these men are that good, they can get away with doing this.
Even in England though, the common play well after the game, go to the pub, get smashed and do coke. Bro, England.
Right,
England,
Tony Adams, heyday, driving charges.
Bro, he's coming and playing like last game of the season's drunk, winning it for us and stuff.
Gascoigne did an interview and they said, I think he got man of the match. He said, I don't even remember the game.
Crazy.
He was man of the match.
On some George Best-ish, bro. The England
Best too.
George Best, yeah, man. We're in a different era now, of course, but yeah, man. Like, you just gotta look back and appreciate some of these man. Like,
yeah, man.
They live life, man.
It's crazy because even when you think about it, someone like Grealish is considered the wild boy. He's not really done anything. Like, think of what these men are doing.
Trust me, bro. And I tell you what, I ain't never see Dwight York without red eyes. Telling you, that's real.
Dwight York was a wild.
He was a wild boy, you know. Hey,
jeez, yeah, we won't go into it, but jeez.
Oh man, yeah. Let's not do that, man. We get a couple. we get different messages.
Yeah, shout out to Dwight York, I guess. Jesus. Oh man.
God.
Hey, big up Ibby in the building. Good to see you, my bro. Saying I thought Sambi looked good in the friendly too. Was passing forward so much quicker. I thought though it's just a friendly. I'm hoping something just clicks soon because he can be a good player. If we get to 19 games and we're still top, then something special is happening. I'll start believing these next 5-6 matches are proper tough. 100% agree, man. 1000% agree. If Arsenal get 19-20 games in and we're still top of the table, regardless of how many points it is, then you can start believing.
Yep,
that something special could happen. But it's just nice to know, regardless, that we're going to be in Champions League next year. That's just nice to know.
Yeah,
I know. You know what? I even mind if I get clipped for that. You know what? It's true. I just clocked. I could get clipped for that.
Yeah.
It's what it is, boy. We're making top 4. If we don't, boy.
Now, if we don't make top 4, jeez, that's bad.
PTSD, bro.
Yeah, man, we've been burned too many times, man. We've seen Gallas kick the advertisement board, and what happened to our season?
Don't even remind me, bro. Don't remind me that they broke my remote, bro.
So, did they cry? I saw them when they were crying.
I think he
Yeah.
cried. Like, I think you got over the Eduardo injury, then you
Yeah.
lose your shit and stay out on the pitch when everyone's gone inside. What's your problem, man?
Nah, deep it. We will never ever see a captain do that again. While the
All with number 10 on his back.
I know.
Nah,
Oh,
big up YO in the building saying big up Morocco, my country. Hey, big up Morocco, man. Smash the like for that, bro. Smash the like for that. Obviously, watch the video back because we gave Morocco their props for sure. But yeah, man, we're all rooting for Morocco on Wednesday night. And yeah, we hope we can do the business and get to the final, man. And like we were saying, while if Morocco get to the final and they win, we'll all be on Edgware Road around 6 p.m. Sunday, innit? So we expect to see you there too.
I might be down Portobello, so you can come down there as well. It's just as good.
Come to both.
Yeah.
Aye. Ibby, let me just end on this comment. Ibby said, "Yo, imagine Tony Adams was Gallas's partner that day, and he sees the man crying like that. To be honest,
the hell out of him.
You'll just slap him.
Yeah, quickly.
Any of them. Keown, Bold, Adams.
Yeah. And again, games, man.
And again, that's another thing that I missed because me and Eduardo were talking about on Saturday watching the England France game. All them things Upamecano was doing back in the day. Tony Adams or them, man, if they see you on that nonsense from early,
grab you by the neck.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, we don't have time for this. You know you're playing for your nation, yeah? This is an honor. You don't come here and fool around.
Literally. But it's like now these, man, like when Theo Hernandez gave away that penalty, clear as day, no accountability. No accountability. Man's like to the ref, how's that a pen? All the other players are running around saying, how's that a pen? Zero.
No one's not going to him saying, what are you doing?
No one's going up to him saying, bro, what?
I realize I sound old, but this era is just soft. That's all it is. Just very, very, very soft. Just babies everywhere.
Soft and full of this, bro.
Yeah, you just want to talk. You're not willing to really put your life on the line on the pitch.
Never. Bro, if Morocco win, I'm catching a quick flight to Morocco for the party. Hey.
Hey, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold.
Hey,
ain't warm right now.
You'll enjoy it, bro. But listen, people, it's been a great stream. Big up everyone for the engagement as always. Make sure to smash a like on the video. Check us out on TikTok. Follow us there too. Follow Rash on TikTok as well. He's active on there. Follow us on Instagram, of course, and all of us on Instagram too. And yeah, man, we might be back on Friday to preview the final. Ahead of Sunday. Obviously, there'll be the third, fourth playoff game as well. But Friday will give us a chance to review the semifinals and look ahead to the final. So make sure you keep an eye out on our social for exactly the time that's going to be. But yeah, man, big up everyone as always for tuning in. Much love for all the support. Drop a comment in the video if you're watching this back. And yeah, tomorrow we've got the first game, Argentina, Croatia. Don't think anyone here really wants either team to win, but it is what it is. I think we're all Morocco fans here moving forward.
I'd say so.
That's for sure. But yeah, man, big up everyone in the building as always, and have a good end to your Monday, and we'll speak on Friday. Big up, people. Love.
So long.